Brennan hasn't ridden this quad, I bet, in probably about 4 months. So that's a little magnet inside there. The Bell Ray Thumper 1040. I usually lube this up really good. I know it looks nasty. You see there's a little bit of movement in that. Now I want to change the belt in this thing. This thing don't have very much more use to it, that's for sure. There's a couple of nicks right here that I'm a little concerned about. All right, well guys, that's not gonna work. There's a small split in that tire right there. Hey guys, welcome back to Pro Row 784. Today's going to be a shop video. We are going to do all the fluids and do a maintenance on this Can-Am Renegade because Brandon's wanting to go riding. Brandon hasn't ridden this quad, I bet, in probably about 4 months. This has been our backup quad for 2026, but he's been in Ohio and has not ridden it. So we're going to get it ready for him to go ride. He's going to do a little bit of riding down here in Florida. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to get it off this lift here. I'm going to put it over here. Also, we've got to remove this big skid plate on the bottom. This is an iron Baltic skid plate. As you can see, it's damaged down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tires that I took off the race quad that we raced at Snowshoe. Them rocks up there, you can see how this edge is completely gone. These were brand new tires at the start of the race. You can see how sharp it is on this side. This is obviously the back side, but you can see those rocks really worn down the lips. Also, this was the tire that was flat on the ATV. It may be because of this. It may not be that the tire's cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this ring off. We'll pull all this debris out of there. And let's take this thing off and see what we got. Ooh, boy. See how that's buried into that. Got quite a bit of dirt around the bead, so we're gonna clean all this stuff here off here and hope for the best. You can see it's embedded in there a little bit, but there we go. Good. There's a couple of nicks right here that I'm a little concerned about. I don't know whether they're going to leak or not. All right, well guys, that's not going to work. I've got it all put back together, and as you can see, I've got it circled here. There is a small split in that tire right there. So I had my hand over it, I put air in it, and I can feel it coming out. Tires are from Snowshoe. I was hoping maybe it was that debris that I pulled out of there. Turns out it was not. This tire is cut. See if I can find another tire. All right, so I was able to find another tire over there. That one there is a little bit older. Now you'll probably wonder why. You ask, why did I put on the tires whenever we got to change all the fluids and I was going to put it on the rack? This iron Baltic skid plate, you've got to drop from underneath. And what happens is the way it's designed, whenever I get it off, I'll show you guys, but you got to drop it. And then we actually just take and run the quad over it. And then what I'll do is I'll drive it up there on the rack there and we'll lift it up. We'll pull the tires back off. I've only put 2 lugs on each one too. We're only going to roll it from there to there. All right, so I've got it all dropped out of there. You'll see that definitely going to be nasty and dirty up underneath. That's one thing that we really don't like about the iron Baltic, although it does protect the entire bottom. But this one here, this skid plate here is pretty much used up and it needs to be replaced. I want to do the front diff oil, the transmission oil, and the rear diff oil, along with the engine oil and air filter, and then probably a dry belt. And then what I'll do is I'll just go over everything. We use the Can-Am OEM filter from BRP. Also, I usually change these out. These little O-rings here. You don't have to do that every single time, but as you can see, that one come right off. And sometimes they just get really hot and they don't seal as good. And then also, I'm going to replace this little thrust washer here on the drain bolt. There, I just wanted to show you guys something. So that's a little magnet inside there. So I always take and inspect this very, very good. I've already cleaned this one out, but typically you just want to make sure there's no debris. All right, so I've got the oil filter all buttoned up, got the drain plug put in there, getting ready to fill it with oil. This is what we've been using. This is the Bel-Ray Thumper 1040. It's been really, really good to us. Sometimes I run 1050. This oil has been very, very good to us. So this machine takes 2 quarts of oil on or about with an oil filter change. So what I did is I went ahead and marked this on here. This is obviously full. It's a full jug. It's got 4 quarts in there. So I'll probably dump it down to about right there and then check it. All right, so I have the oil all in there. Now we're going to tackle the transmission. So you see the white cap? Maybe better without a light. Well, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. But the white cap is where we fill it at. There's one underneath that drain bolt, the rusty looking one right there, that's the one we got to get to drain the transmission. Sometimes I need to remove all this and move the pedal, but I'm going to attempt to try to get it now instead of me trying to, because it's a lot easier with the skid plate off there. So we'll try it. I'm getting ready to fill it now. This is where you fill it out here, and usually I fill it up till I see it coming out. I use for that, I just put the 75 140, and I've been using Mobile 1. I've had pretty good luck with the Mobile 1, so I've just been using that in the transmission front end and rear end. And then the engine oil, I've been using the Bel-Ray Thumper. All right, so I got that transmission all buttoned up here. Now we're going to start on the rear end. Now, the rear end, it calls for 75 140, and it's written on there probably somewhere. I always put the 75 90 in the front and the rear end in the 2 diffs. I never had an issue with that. That's the way I've always did it. No, the rear end doesn't take as much of a beating as the front end, but still I'd rather go ahead and run the thicker oil in the front and the rear. I've heard of some people running even the 790 in the transmission, and there's nothing, I don't guess there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit more drag. And these things being CVT got tons of drag already within the transmission. Now this one here does make a mess for me because the way that I've got all this panned out up underneath the frame rails here. So I got the drain plug put back in there, and then I'm getting ready to put my 75 90 in the rear end here. Got the rear end all done, got it all tightened up, and now let's move to the front. So the front's pretty much similar as to the rear end. The only thing difference is the drain plug on the front diff is on the very bottom on the newer styles. On some of the older stuff, it's on the side like it is in the rear diff. But on the newer style stuff, this is a 2024 ATV, it's on the very bottom. Well, I thought I pushed the recorder button, but evidently I didn't. So this is what I use to lube the air filter. It's the Bel-Ray foam filter. Waterproof grease. I usually lube this up really, really good. I know it looks nasty, and it is nasty, but I want this to make a good seal whenever it goes on to the ATV. So I do not want any dirt getting inside there. All right, so we're getting ready here to install this right here. That's got a metal cage in it, obviously, as you can tell, but usually I stick it right up in here. Not that it means anything, but I usually put that seal to the top. I don't know that it means anything, probably doesn't, but that goes on and it sort of fits just snug like that. What holds that in there is this cap, and I have seen numerous guys lose these caps, or either they just get loose and they drop out like that, and it allows a lot of dirt to get up in the ATV. So you want to make sure you've got a good seal there that turns like that And as you can see, there's a little bit of movement in that. So what we do is I take aircraft wiring, we drill a little small pinhole in there and then through that, and on both sides, and I put wire there and wire there, and it seals that really nice and tight. Also, it doesn't back itself out. All right, as you can see there, I put the aircraft wire on there like that. But anyway, you see how much tighter that is? That's not going nowhere. All right, so I've got the air filter all wrapped up. So that's pretty much everything I'm gonna do on the lubricants and all that stuff. Pretty much got everything changed up. Now I want to change the belt in this thing. Not sure when the last time we changed it, and I'm sure the last time we changed it, it was a used one. So a one race old belt. So probably is time for her to go ahead and put a new one on there and clean the clutches and all that kind of stuff. So I've got here with me, this is the 2026 Camp Coker belt that Brandon won the race with in South Carolina. So this belt's probably only got 2 hours on it, something like that. So I'll be installing it on there. Typically I put anti-seize on these bolts that holds the shroud on over the belt, the cover, just so these things don't strip out. All right, so get the clutch all put back together there and serviced, all that kind of stuff. So all right, now we got to get after this. Ooh, I got to put this back over there. We got to get after this skid plate. Remember, there's some damage on the bottom down there. Let me go over there and I'll look at it. But I took this Scotch-Brite, and that's what I buffed the clutches and all that stuff with. I usually just knock the glaze off, and then I took the compressed air and just blew everything out and inspected everything. Everything looked good, and as usual. So it's I put the 2 hour old belt on there. Over here's the skid plate. I guess I should take it outside and clean all that debris off of it. We've got to address, there's a spot on the bottom down there. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. I may end up just taking that off. I don't know how I'm going to repair that. And then the back's got a lot of wear on it, but anyway, we need to put it back on there so the sand doesn't eat into our frame rails. All right, so here's the skid plate. So we have discovered, or I have discovered, look at this thing. It is B2 crap. But this is the very front of the quad here. This is what takes the initial hit of stumps and all that stuff. And merely it looks like the two bolts have just backed out. So there's some bolts that go in there. So this thing is, oh boy, this is one of our oldest ones. I bet this thing's a couple, 3 years old. You can see where it's really thin back here where it's riding on the frame rails. Obviously this thing's upside down, but boy, look at that thing. That thing looks like a big, huge airplane. If you guys go back and watch the video of the weigh video where I weighed Brandon's quad after snowshoe, this is the skid plate, one like it, that we installed on Brandon's quad. And you can see that this thing does protect the bottom of the ATV really well, and then also it allows it to skid over the rocks and that kind of stuff. But it did gather a lot of mud, and that's one thing we don't like about these things. This thing is pretty heavy too. I bet it weighs 20-25 pounds. So anyway, that's the reason why we've chosen not to run this. We are running the Can-Am off-road aluminum one now. It does make a little bit of noise when rocks and everything hit the aluminum one, but on the race quad. But on these practice quads and all that, we still going to use these here. So let me go ahead and see if I can go to the skid plate department and find some bolts. It looks like those are pinhead bolts or countersunk bolts there. So I did find a couple bolts, brand new. So let me see if I can get these things. I'm not sure if they're even going to line up in there, but we're going to give it a shot and see. Oh yeah, I did put some anti-seize on these things to help them glide a little bit better, and then also maybe the rust won't hold them up. Yeah, that one may not. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay, don't want to go too tight. All right, not too bad. Most of the time, this is usually the tricky part because I've got to try to pick that up there by myself and then get these bolts started in there, and sometimes it's not very fun. So I've taken a jack and I put in the front here to try to pick up. It don't have really a lot of pressure on there, so but I got to lay on my back there. My eyes aren't very good anyway, so I'm gonna put my glasses on and get a light, and I'm gonna get up underneath there and see if I can't pick this up underneath there. All right, so that wasn't too bad. Got those four bolts around the chassis there. Got the one in the back, and I'm going to do the ones in the front here. All right, well guys, we have finally made it. I have finally successfully completed the maintenance. The only thing I want to do is I want to fill it up with fuel, obviously, and then we're going to probably set the toe in alignment, and then also I want to check the ride height on it. So those three things have still got to be done. Brandon will probably be here in the next day or so to ride this thing. I just wanted to try to get it all prepped and ready to go for him. Didn't really find anything. I went over all the nuts and bolts, and specifically the front diff bolts, rear diff bolts, that kind of stuff, because those things do work themselves loose. Went over all that, and it all seems to be pretty good. So this thing's, I'd say, ready to go. So he's got 48 hours on it, something like that. This is also last year's 2025 race quad. It was originally purple at the beginning of the season. Didn't have very good luck with it. Had a few issues with it. We turned away from it and started to run into blue quad, which is that quad there. That's from 2023. No, 2024. I'm sorry, 2024. Started running that quad, won a few races on that. Went back to this one. This is the purple quad. And then summertime last year, about this time, he changed it into the red. So he wanted to change it up, but then he went on to win several races with this thing, including the last 2 of last season, and then he's won the first 9 of this season on the new quad. Hey, listen, I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate all the likes, the comments, and the shares, and all that kind of stuff. And if you like this kind of content, please like and share. And also subscribe. I never say that enough. Please subscribe. I'm on the way to 2,500 subscribers, and it's very, very important to me. So, and if you've lasted this long, obviously you like this content, but I'm trying to get better. So, all right, appreciate it, guys. I thank you for watching. See you next time.